Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, your friend, your brother. This is Matter Arising with Humanist Steven, and today it will be a very interesting, intriguing, and very exciting day for us. I'll be having our brother, one of our brother, right here soon with us. Uh, Comrade Stanley osaze Osakhuenorkhodin is going to be with us in the next few minutes. And before then, tomorrow is going to be another interesting day with us, as I'll be having our brother, this Benin historian, named Izoduwa Amowie Imaswan. He's going to be with us tomorrow. We're going to have a very interesting topic on the origin, the foundation of the Benin Kingdom. It's going to be so wonderful tomorrow. It's going to be so intriguing, so beautiful tomorrow. So I'm encouraging every one of us. Let's stay tuned tonight as we interview our brother, Comrade Stallion Osakhuenorkhodin. And tomorrow also, as we come over here to listen to the Benin, or the origin of the Benin, known as the Igodomi. So he's going to come here and do us a very thorough teaching tomorrow. So be there. Let's join hands together tomorrow and make it a wonderful day. And I want to appreciate Niger Watch and every one of you that have made this possible. Now I can stream live on my Facebook pages, the regular Facebook page, the page, and the YouTube at the same time. So I can stream live in the three devices at the same time, and it's going to be a very wonderful time together tonight. While we wait for Stanley to sign in, I'm trying to just call him to see what is still happening. While we wait for him to sign in, just 1 minute, guys. I'm going to just kick off with what is trending right now in Nigeria. So while I wait for him to pick up, so let me just go over to what is actually trending now in Nigeria. Yesterday, there was a meeting of the entire South. I mean, on the entire Northern governors, the Northern Governors Forum, wanting to regulate the social media bill, and I felt a little bit worried when I see people actually use the social media to propagate all form of evil during their time, during the 2015-2019 general election. Particularly this man who is not championing it, Lai Mohammed, he was at the forefront with the likes of the Kano governor, Malam Nasaru El-Rufai. He was also at the forefront, where the social media was being used, to fight against the government of Governor Norigase Obaseki. Now, I am not surprised the same people who got so much benefit from this very particular, what's it called, benefit, at today, they are not clamoring for the regulation or the censorship of the social media space. It is so unfortunate that what our leaders are supposed to be thinking of how they're going to make life more better for us, what our leaders are supposed to be thinking of how they're going to give us basic amenities like good roads, pipe and water, electricity, housing, payment of salaries. They had not a lot of time to sit together to see how they can shut us up from complaining about their ways of ruling. They are doing everything to make sure that the voices of the people is shut down forever. It is so disgusting. It is so pathetic that the people who gave our collective right to have not become those that want to oppress us, for us not to be able to share our mind when things are not working according to how we expect it to be. That is one thing we are not going to take from them. I am calling on the youth of Nigeria to rise up, because this same very little boy, the Desmond Idiot, started this campaign, and now it has gone to the gear that the entire northern state governor had to come together to say there must be the censorship of the social media space. If that is done, if we allow it to happen, we will automatically have created, an avenue whereby our voices will be silent forever. In the just concluded gubernatorial election in Edo State, if not because of the social media, it would have been very, very difficult for Governor Osakhuenorkhodin to have won the election against the forces that stood against him. So my take is this: as a Nigerian, as a youth, this is time we need to put sentiment aside. This is time we need to put tribal differences aside. This is the time we need to come together and define the cause of a better Edo, a better Nigeria, that the voice of the people will be heard in the midst of what they are actually doing to us. So that's going to be one of the things we are going to deal with tonight as we go on and on. This morning, I just heard that the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, has already written a letter to Donald Trump and the American people over the election that is going on right now in America. But this man had not for one day come out to the people to tell them or to explain them why things are not going the way they ought to go in our nation. Keeping quiet is selling our destinies. Keeping quiet is like making our voices to be locked up in a bottle where we will not be able to get our voice back. Today, the IG had ordered the police not to show up on the streets of Nigeria. Today, all the way from Lagos to Benin, there is no policeman or the military on the highway, because we requested that SARS must end. Because we asked for the end to brutality by the military force in Nigeria. All they could do is to make sure that they seize us from speaking, and they decided to make our voices not to be heard. By so doing, they allowed the hoodlums to come to the streets and release mayhem on the people. So that at the end of the day, they will not say, "Oh, did we not tell you guys that you made a mistake by saying we must end SARS? That you made a mistake by saying we must end police brutality?" My question to President Muhammadu Buhari, to the IG Adamu Mohammed, and to the Minister of Defense and everyone who is in charge of the military apparatus in Nigeria, is this the only way you can pay back the people that are paying your bills by the day? This is what they don't want to hear. This is what they don't want to see. They want to make sure that our voices are no more heard. Our voices are being locked up in a way that we cannot be able to say anything anymore. It is a pity that we have gotten to where we are today as a nation. But I believe if we continually speaking, a day will come when freedom will come back to us. A day will come whereby our voices would have echoed so much, so well, that the things in Nigeria can change for the better. And I want to encourage the youth of my time. This is not time for unnecessary bitterness. This is not time for us to begin to create unnecessary acrimonies amongst us. This is a time for us to speak to power. This is time for us to unite together as a force whereby the people in power will be scared of us. Let me make something very clear to you. Today, the government, the people in power are not scared of the youth. They know right now that you have what it takes. You have some level of power to change what is happening in the country. Now they are not worried about the voices that you have been able to gather in these last few weeks. They are not worried about the force that you are pulling in this time. They are not worried about the braveness and the courageousness that has come upon you guys in the last few weeks during this NSAS protest. Today, the youth are still protesting in Abuja. This one I just saw and some others who also went to the IG office to continue with the NSAS protest. That shows that the youth have finally regained their voice. The youth have finally decided to take the bull by the horn to make a better Nigeria. But one thing I must tell you is this: as a youth, power is not given freely. Power needs to be taken. You need to put yourself into groups and begin to do things that will make these people to have no other choice than to give you power. Just like it happens in the past. I gave you a story yesterday, an analysis of people that were in government. I gave a story of people that were in government, in the past. I told you about the guys who actually owned the GT Bank. The guys who were in their 30s. The most oldest among them was a 35 years old guy who formed the GT Bank, one of the best banks in Nigeria today, in the year 1988, and it finally succeeded in 1989. This is what we are talking about. We can be able to make great changes. We're going to make great difference by allowing things to work in a way and manner that things will begin to work the way they ought to work. But when we unite in unity, we have strength. In unity, we can be able to pull down every stronghold that has kept us bound for too long. But my question is this: if the youth gets power tomorrow, what are we going to do? If we have the power tomorrow, what are we going to use the power for? So if we finally, peradventure, we get the power tomorrow, what are we going to do with the power? Are we prepared to take over the leadership of Nigeria from the cabals? Are we actually prepared to be at the saddle of leadership in all the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory? Are we prepared psychologically, mentally, and otherwise to be able to become the leading force that will change the narratives in the country? Are we prepared to throw our differences aside, to throw our ambitions aside, and think of the collective responsibility of how we can move to the next level? These and many questions are actually begging for answer. So quickly, give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can get Osakhuenorkhodin online. If I can't get him, because I'll be trying to call him now. He's not picking up the phone. If I can't get him, then I will just move on with the show without him. This show have been fixed since yesterday, and I expected him to have kept to the time. But if it's not keeping up, then I will just move on and I do the show without him. So I think I need to move on. It's not picking up. It's not picking up the calls. So it's not picking up the calls. So I just need to move on, guys. Yeah, let's talk about, like I said, let's talk about the social media censorship. Right now, nobody's talking about it. No youth is talking about it. No social media presenter is talking about it. And we actually do not understand what it is for the social media to be censored. If it's censored, even in my video now, there are things I can't say. There are things that I can't actually relay out on my video if the social media becomes censored. There are things I can say. There are things I can say. It will not look like Facebook and YouTube, where there are some things you say on Facebook, or there's the things you put up on Facebook, the Facebook will just block it up and say, no, this can't work. There are things you put up on YouTube also, they will mute it. That part will just be muted. You will not hear the voice. This is one thing that we should not allow to happen. Because our generation is technological generation. Our generation is a generation whereby we're going to use the technology to defeat these analog people. And they know they cannot be able to compare us. So what they are trying to do is to make sure we do not get that part. And why are the Northerners doing that? Let me shock you. Do you know most of these governors in the North, their children do not school in Nigeria? Do you know most of these governors, even their children schools in Nigeria, their children schools to schools like a new Covenant University owned by Oyedepo, or they go to Redeemer owned by Adeboye, or go to Bensi Dausa University owned by the late Bensi Dausa. They are ready to pay if they cannot take them out of the country. They are ready to pay in the most expensive private universities in Nigeria, where there is no strike. Their children get quality education. They are well prepared for the market, for the labor market. They add all advantage on their side. So what would they do? The social media is making even some northerners now to become sensible. They're trying to create, we have already created this awareness through the Edo election that it is possible that social media can actually do something remarkable. So they understood that plan. So all they could do, all they are planning to do is to make sure that this very particular story, this very particular trend that's happening in the South now is being curbed in the North. And how are they going to curb it? It's by allowing the government not to give so much permission for things to be said in the social media space. The social media is destroying the nation. But they forgot they use the same social media to baboose President Goodluck Jonathan into submission. They forgot they use the social media to create a very ugly situation in Nigeria. Today, the entire northern state are saying we should censor social media. But I have not heard anything from the Southern governors. This is what I've been saying from the beginning. I've been clamoring for a united Southern Nigeria. This is why I've been clamoring for that. But my Igbo brothers do not want to really see reasons why we all must come together in unity, particularly the IPOB. Why we all must come together in unity to fight this common fight. They seem as if it is a fight for only the Yorubas, or it's a fight for only the South, or it's a fight for only the Igbo people. One thing we don't understand is this: we cannot be able to go anywhere until there is a united Southern Nigeria. With what we are seeing today, it is now crystal clear that the North are far, far away from us as far as politics is concerned. They understand all the trick on how to play politics so well that the people can be easily defeated. The South are warming up to take over the corridor of power through the social media. And they are planning to shut up the voice of the Southern youth who are becoming exposed, who are becoming more and more daring by the use of social media, so that they can be able to shut them up and make these people to become redundant, so that they can continue in exploiting and exploring our collective destiny and resources. Let me tell my northern brothers, listen, one thing that these cabals have used to divide us has always been religion. It has always been religion. Religion has been the tool that they have operated on to divide us from the beginning. And anytime they want to make some very funny things, they come with religion. The religion tears us apart. It makes a youth like myself to say, I am a Muslim. It says, today, I am a Christian. It's a divisive mechanism operated by these demonic cabals. Or they now operate on the ethnic divas. I am an Igbo man. I am a Yoruba. I am an Hausa. But when they want to steal, there is no Igbo. There is no Hausa. There is no Yoruba. In Nigeria, we have only two languages. In Nigeria, we have only two languages. We have the language of the poor and the language of the rich. In Nigeria, we have only two ethnic groups. We have the ethnic group of the poor and the ethnic group of the rich. In Nigeria, we have only two religions. We have the religion of the poor and the religion of the rich. Until we understand that anytime they want to deal with you and I, they come up with these funny ideologies about you being a Northerner and I being a Southerner, about you being a Christian and I being a Muslim. It is just the way and manner they do these things. Let me also shock you. I've said this many times. I want to say it again. The youth of Nigeria, listen to me. The Fulanis in the forest, hear this clearly. They can buy you gun. They can buy you AK-47s. They can send you with thousands of cattle into the forest and wander around like a wild animal. But their children, the children of this very particular man, the children of this very particular woman, who is actually sending you out with his cattle, are schooling in a well-conducive environment. Some of them are living in AC offices and houses while you are being allowed to wander on the street without not taking your bath for a whole year. They made you to become animals by killing people without no reasoning back. But whereas their children is being prepared to rule over you again after they would have gone. If I'm kidding, look at the likes of Saraki. Their son was a governor. The daughter today is also a minister. They prepare their children to take over from them when they are gone. You perpetually remain their slaves, while they remain the master. If you think I'm joking, ask one of the people that you have his cows to give you his daughter hand in marriage. As a young Fulani boy who is actually going around the entire bushes, taking care of their cows, risking your life for them. Go back to them and say, sir, I want to marry your daughter, and get the reply you're going to get. That is being used to commit havoc. Today, they not call you hoodlums. Today, you are not be called hoodlums. But during election, they call you lions and tigers. During elections, they call you brave youths. They will buy guns, hand over to you, and send their children abroad. Why the land is on fire. And the moment the entire election is not over, they will remember that their children needs to come back and become the first citizens of Nigeria. You can remember, in all the elections that we have done in Nigeria, none of the presidents or the governor children has taken the front burner. None of them are taking the front burner during their campaigns. You don't even know the children of these people until the election is over. I never knew as a man that Buhari actually had a son until after the election. Throughout the election in Edo State, I never saw the children of Pastor Sage Zeyamu. Neither have I seen any of this that their children will be at the forefront of the campaign for their parents. Why is that? Because they are preparing them, they are grooming them to take over the political space after they have retired or after they have joined their ancestors. This is where you and I need to start thinking. This is where you and I need to start reasoning very high on how we can be able to change the narratives. We must come together in unity. You have to be able to break the yinks that have been created by these men who have refused to leave power. The Fulani, the Hausa Fulani boys inside the forest are not actually our problem. They don't have money to buy an AK-47. Most of the kidnappers today you see in Nigeria are not actually working for themselves. They are working for some of these people. How? The guns were given to them during elections. And after elections, they allowed these young ones, these young lads, to take these guns away and use it the way they please. So it becomes a little bit worrisome. Okay? Become a little bit worrisome. How things will degenerate. We also saw a few days ago that an 11-year-old child who actually went, with them to burn down a police station in a Votubu area, who now wore the shirt of a sergeant. Hello. Amamu. So I'll just who now wore the shirt of a sergeant and called himself the IG of police. And why he was doing that, they called the boy hoodlums. The police even picked him up. But thank God for people like Mazikola Dokpayi and other human rights activists who actually went and did his rescue, and his bail was granted. Instead of taking him to the prison, he was being asked to go home to his parents. Today, when the guy was asked, the guy said his intention, his aspiration is to become an IG of police. The young guy has an ambition, but the society wanted to turn him into a hoodlum. The society wanted to turn him into criminal. The society wanted to turn him into something that is not useful. But thank God that people came up and they tried to rescue him and bring him out of that shackles. So this is what I am talking about. And this is what we as a people need to start taking as youth. We should stop keeping quiet. And also want to advise us as youth. Hello. Metienne, we're not going to follow. I've called him. I even send him the link. Yeah. The conference call. You might nobody may send again. I said even send the link and everything. Mami and Guano, then you're okay. You approve the team today. If not, I was supposed to bring someone else in. We make us all in the area. So my real life in here, anyways. So I will just continue with the show and yeah. So my brothers, My plan, this is my plan. I'm trying to bring Stanley in, but I don't know what is happening. So I'll just have to continue with the show. Okay. This is my plan, and this plan I have been having from the beginning. The only way we can defeat these people is when we unite. That's why yesterday I was trying to talk about the story of some of our brothers who actually came together and made a remarkable difference in their time. Yeah, hello. Hello. Yeah, hello. Osakhuenorkhodin. Yeah, Baba, man said the link go no the I walk back on now. You told me it was okay that you're going to be around today. Who am I? Since link go na senior. Since yeah. So thank you, man. That's what I'm saying. That we must unite. The only way we can win these people is when we decide to put our differences aside. Unite as one indivisible family. The youth. The new Nigeria. The new Nigeria. We can't do this. We can't make it happen. I'm begging every one of them, those of us who have made money, like the Davidos, like the Root Boy, the P Squares, like the Baba Two Face, like as many of them, like Linda Ikeji. These guys who have actually made money come together, create a platform, start a business, and change the narrative of things. We can make it do great. Stanley is here right now. Let's just welcome him in. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Then check your device. I can hear you clearly. Check your system. Check your system. Maybe something is wrong there.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, but everybody can hear me now. Everybody can hear me. Why here? I don't know why you can't hear me from there. Everybody can hear me from here. Yeah, the mic is on, is working. Yeah, the mic is working. The speaker is working. Hello? Hello? I think it's network. So, what we need to do is for us to come together, unanimously agree on what to do. This is what I'm saying about now. Network wala. We can do this in Nigeria. These guys can come together and form one very strong network company. It's possible. Form one very strong network company together. We have the money. If 42 people can start up GT Bank, 42 guys started GT Bank, and all these guys today are all multi-millionaires. They're all billionaires today. What will it take these guys who have already made money to come together and create something that will make us to wrestle power from these people? Because look at Nigeria today. The guys I told you in 1988, they were already 30 years. 33, 32, 35. Now, so today, from 1988 till now, That's about 28 years or 30 years, if I'm not mistaken now. Now, if you put it to their age, they're already 50, something 60. 60-something years. So, from their time immemorial, they've been in control. And they can't give it to you just like that. It's not possible. They can't hand over to you the authority, the power, just like that. Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, nice. We have Stanley Osakhuenorkhodin in the house now, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be a quick one so that I can allow you go. A very quick, brief interview. Every time we can have more and more together.
No problem.
The first question I'm going to ask because of time is, I want to say congratulations on the job you did during the campaign for Governor Osakhuenorkhodin. You did marvelously well, and you came up with something that was very remarkable. The very day he was asked to leave, he was disqualified from APC. I shared that video on my wall, and that video trended 10,000 times on my wall, and it was shared. It actually has been the highest number of videos shared, 1,001 times shared on my wall. And you came up with one song that became the hit song during the campaign, Oga, carry your ticket, go. My question is this: how did that very particular inspiration came from? Because I saw you were on the street with a white t-shirt, you were mad, jumping up and down, and suddenly we heard you raise up that song, Oga, carry your ticket, go, and we were like, okay. And it became one of the hit songs that even up to today, everyone in Europe still play that song. Can you tell us what prompted you to release such a music in the heat of that?
Very first, I say very big good evening to all Nigerians worldwide, because this issue today is not peculiar to Edo people alone. It is the entire Nigerians, and we have to use this opportunity to greet everyone and to say thank you to Edo Light specifically for the overwhelming support in the just concluded gubernatorial elections in Edo State. Most especially, a big thank you to members of Edo Diaspora Connect Worldwide who gave me their support, both financially and otherwise, to ensure that we do all we could to assist the governor. And whether we like it or not, I have no right whatsoever to claim credit, even if you say I sang Oga carry ticket go, which is true, but at least to some extent, the involvement of various individuals makes it work. If I would have seen Oga carry ticket go and return back into my room, if the empowerment did not come from all nooks and crannies from Edo people around the world. So, in a nutshell, when you want to give an accolade or encomium, don't always fail to recognize those who made it possible for us to be able to act. Because we only have the potential. We don't have the resource competencies as ordained to do what is right. So for those worldwide to say, comrade, we want to back you up. Comrade, we like your zeal. We want you to do what is expected. Go on and fight. We are solidly behind you. And we did not lack in terms of financial wherewithal to act. So if you have competencies and there are no resources to act, definitely you cannot meet up to expectations. So first, greatest thanks go to our ubiquitous God for making it possible. Secondly, for those who came out with their financial wherewithal, the economic war chest, to ensure that Osakhuenorkhodin and crew do what they do to ensure that the governor emerged. I say a big thank you to them. Now, talking about the inspiration in itself, there was no inspiration, believe me. I never thought of singing that song, but as I was angry. In Benin Parable, there is this statement, you cannot continue to intimidate somebody and you expect people to remain mute. So to some of us, I happen to be an activist. I came from civil society background. It is difficult for me to see light and call it darkness. Even when I was angry with the administration in the state, on the basis of the fact that the government refused to share, that will not change the fact that yes must be yes and no must be no. So when I saw on Vanguard, because Vanguard, I refused to watch it on television because I already knew that there is no way the led EPM will allow the governor to get the ticket. So I was already prepared. Anything that will happen, and to some of us, I decided, in fact, sorry to say, I was more desperate than Obaseki. Because if I'm fighting, I fight mercilessly. I fight mercilessly. So if I'm fighting, I want to put all my all. And I know that it is a mission of no return. It's either we win or we'll be destroyed completely politically in Edo State. Now, if the reverse had been the case, by now, I wouldn't have been here to grant this interview. It's either I'm talking to you from Cameroon, or I'm talking to you from Ghana, or I'm talking to you from America, if I have the capacity. But certainly, I can never be in Edo State because the persecution would have been too much. So that alone was a no going back to Osakhuenorkhodin. And I sang the song, Oga, carry your ticket, go, which just came on its own because I believe the ticket is the issue. And by the power of our ubiquitous God, I have the capacity whatsoever to compose songs. So that was more or less like an inspirational music, and I have to come in without development. Thank you.
Yeah, it was an inspirational music that had to come in without any form of development. Now, Obaseki had won, and we all are celebrating. I know we are seeing the celebration mode right now. My next question goes like this. As a youth who supported...
Please, I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear you clearly? I can hear you clearly.
Oh, yeah, continue.
Okay. Now, as a youth who supported Obaseki's second term in office, what are your expectations in terms of governance? Network again. Network again.
Continue.
Yeah. Now, my question is this. As a youth who supported Obaseki's second term in office, what are your expectations in terms of governance immediately after his inauguration?
I expect a total reconciliation first for us to be able to succeed. No matter the political affiliation, politics is a game. And I expect the opposition to accept now that the presidency and those in the other divide have agreed that the election was free, fair, and credible because they control all the security apparatus. There is no way they can come out to say the election was rigged. Now the election has come and gone, one would have expected all Edolites to come together to ensure speedy and economic development in Edo State. And I'll use the opportunity to appeal to Pastor Saige Izeyamu, who contested with the governor, to come out because you must not be governor for you to impact positively on your state. The state is for us all. Let's take a classical example. If someone who is from the opposition has the capacity to build an aeroplane, we didn't say because it's from the opposition, you will not deprive Edo from a right to have an individual abuse aeroplane. It is expected that governments must invest on such a person to ensure that such expertise is superimposed into the development of Edo State. So I am not the kind of man that believes in politics of bitterness. Shit.
Oh, Nigeria really need deliverance. I must say the least. This is why we must rise up. We must rise up. It is possible we can make, a network that is not failing. If it can happen in Europe, why can't it happen in Nigeria? This is why we need people that have the capability, people that understood how things works, to actually go to that nation and try to change things the way they ought to be. Because this is not working. This is not okay that someone will buy, what is it called? Someone will buy data, and at the end of the day, you will not be able to have a frequent network all just because some persons are sitting on it, eating all that does not actually belong to them. This is not working. This is not okay. This is not acceptable. And we, as a people, must rise up to start speaking to powers. This is very, very, very important. We are already on, and we were just walking in, believing to get to the next stage of the entire interview. The network issue had risen up. While we wait for him, let me also go ahead. Like I said before, we can be able to come together. I am saying this because of those who are in the diaspora. We can join us together, build a formidable force by creating something that will help us to change the narrative of things in Nigeria. It is possible that we can be able to do that. But all we need to do is to join hands together in trust. Just like these 42 guys in 1998 decided to join hands together and build the GT Bank of today. Where those 10 guys join hands together and build the IBTC Bank of today. This is one thing we must begin to think. If we must take power from this group of people, if our voices must be heard, the truth of the matter is this: they will not give you power until you take it. Somebody was telling me, the issue is this: we need to keep quiet as a youth. We don't need to fight. Listen, let me tell you something. Freedom doesn't come without a price. Freedom never comes without a price. No man becomes a millionaire without having any backbone from the family, without not paying some certain amount of prices. If you think I'm lying, ask people that had no parental support, that their parents were not actually well-to-do, who metamorphosized into becoming who they are today. So when I talk about some set of people, you understand clearly that you cannot be who you want to be without not paying some certain amount of prices. This morning I was listening to Dilo Menai, and he was trying to reveal or to talk about his past. So the father was a civil servant in Kano State or Kaduna. He was retrenched or he was sacked because he was a vocal guy, and he had to work as a bus conductor. He did bricklaying work. He did all sort of menial jobs to go through school until he graduated from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and he became who he is today. So, in all the life story he said today on BBC Pidgin English, Nigeria, he actually paid the price. We must pay a price. The price we need to pay is to drop our individualistic attribute. Is to drop our individualistic attribute and then focus on what will give us unity more as a people. Harry Gold, why do you wonder about me? What happened? What happened? Why do you wonder about me? That's the only way we can succeed. We must build up trust. Trust. If I trust you, you should trust me in return. that will give us the key to take over, to wrestle power from these political criminals in government. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. But we can. We did it during the election. When our father, Captain Dr. West Osakhuenorkhodin, decided to open his voucher and release billions to fight the governorship election of Obaseki. We, the youth, we, the diasporans, we decided to bring out little of what we have. And the amount that was being controlled by our father could not match what the little of what you and I we are putting together. You will see the force during the election that in everywhere you go, it was Obaseki all the way. Every corner you go to, the words of Obaseki became a thing, even up to the point that Twitter had to actually recognize hashtag Toba. And at the end of the day, we were able to defeat a billionaire, the second richest man in Edo State, and the 10th richest man in Nigeria. Because of unity. That is what we are clamoring for. Not like what we are not saying. Listen, guys, my plea to you guys, particularly the youth of Edo, let me go back to you now because I love talking about my state. I want the best for my state. The youth of Edo State, I am pleading with you guys because Obaseki has said, I am going to give 60% of my government to the youth. My plea to you guys is this. Do not disappoint the collective responsibility that will be put on your shoulder if you are being appointed into any political office during the second term tenure of Governor Obaseki. Do not disappoint the trust, the confidence that we are going to have on you guys to represent the youth in the government. Now that you fought during the election, your voices were heard, and the man whom you fought for is deciding to compensate, to reward the youth for our endless support, for the war against godfatherism. So, if you get into power, remember where you are coming from. Remember you have a family called the youth of the new Nigeria. Remember the purpose why you were actually selected or appointed into that position. It is because the youth like you and I fought collectively and defeated the monster that was against our collective destiny as a people. So therefore, when you get there, Don't turn your back on the people. Let your office be an open door for constructive contribution to the development of Edo State. I'm also calling on Governor Obaseki. I've said it several times. I'm going to say it again. There are many people in the diaspora who have what it takes to change the narratives of things in Nigeria. I am not asking you, sir, to appoint them to become commissioners. I am not asking you, sir, to appoint them to become SAs, SSAs, board directors, or whatever. But I am only saying you can bring many heads of intellectuals in the diaspora together to have a diaspora committee. A diaspora committee who will help you to strategize, analyze, do some feasibility studies over how things are being done here, and we'll put it in a memo and return back to you in Benin City. If you then need them to come and help you to do analysis, maybe 2 or 3 of these guys can be in Benin. In Benin, whereby they cannot go there and make their input well known. I can promise you, if you do this, and if the youth who will be employed or appointed into these positions understood why they are there, not to make money, we can change the narrative of Nigerian politics in 4 years. By 2023 and 2024, as the case may be, the story would have changed. Everything would have been in favor of the new generation. But if we make mistake, just like Ali Macaulay, just like Desmond Idiot, just like Yaya Bello did in their time when they had an opportunity of changing the narrative of things, they decided to continually follow the footsteps of the greedy, selfish, demonic, and barbaric leaders. We will start crying of Adano. That's what I'm saying today. Don't bring a diaspora to Nigeria. It might not be able to function in the capacity that you want to put him. Because his thinking is completely different. Like me, I can't function in any office in Nigeria as of today. I say it every day, I'm saying it again. I cannot be able to function perfectly in any office as far as the Nigerian system today is concerned. I will resign in 1 month. I promise you. So that's why I tell people every day, I will not want to be part of any government until there is proper sensitization of the policies of the government in Nigeria. But if people are being put together in the diaspora and we are still within the circumference of the developed world, where rules and regulation actually works, where things are working the way they ought to be, where bribery and corruption is not the order of the day, we can be able to perform better by giving advices based on merit, not sentiments. By giving, advices based on what we know, not what we think. By making sure that we do things in a way that the world will marvel not how we're going to pay a high service to the governor. Like me, I can tell you anytime, any day, how I feel about the government without not getting worried because of what you're going to do. Because I will never be in your government, but I will only be a watchdog. Not only for you, but for the people of Edo State and Nigeria in general. We are here to help you to make Edo State a better place. So if I criticize you as a governor, don't see me as an enemy of the state, but actually see me as a progressive. See me as a friend who wants the best for you and the country or the state which you are governing. A government that has no opposition. A government that is not being criticized by the people is either a failed government or it's a tyrant. I repeat, a government that has no criticisms, a government that has no opposition is either a failed government or the government is a tyrannic government, whereby the voices of the people is being shut up for reasons best known to the government, or the people are being bought over by the people who he had actually employed to control the well-being of the people. If we can be able to do this, I think we can have a better Edo. We can have a better Nigeria. If Edo gets it right, I promise you, every other part of the nation will get it right. We are the pace setter. We are the foundation for a better tomorrow. The youth of Edo started a movement that scaled through the September governorship election in Edo State. And it has split over to every part of the state today. I can promise, I can tell you, without any fear or favor, that the entire governorship, the entire governors in Nigeria today are not scared of their youth. They are not worried of what will happen to them if they mess up. They're not saying that there is a new brand youth being created out of the movement of the Edo youth. So these are many, many things that we want to discuss, want to talk about when it comes to governance. We can't do this until we are united as a people. And I love what Stanley said before he went out. He said, the first thing one Obaseki government to do is to bring everybody together. I stand for unity. I'll be clamoring for that from the beginning. The war is over. The battle has been won. We must unite to build a better Edo. Today, the insecurity in Edo State is alarming. It is alarming. But thank God, like Eboston said, they're going to be the state policing is going to start off very soon. We thank God for Obaseki's initiative. We believe that will help a lot to reduce the menace that is being created by the absence of the Nigerian police. I am calling on those guys who are criminals. Those guys did not call hoodlums. You are not hoodlums, you are my brothers. You are my sisters. Some of you are my children. I know your pains. I understand how you feel. I was once in that shoe like you. I might not have descended to the level you are now, but I will tell you, I understand everything that you are passing through. I know it is not 100% your fault, because the society created this monster in you. I know some of you who were in the universities. who later became a cultist. Many of you never wanted to do so. I know the situation created the monster in you. Somebody's going to be surprised now why I talk like this. Many students in my time, they became cultists because the lecturers frustrated them. The society creates whatsoever you see in that society. It's not created from the abstract world. When you don't develop your citizens, you are creating a state of anarchy. Human development capacity is one part of a government that should not be taken for granted. The moment you refuse to develop your citizens, you are creating what you call hoodlums and criminals. Now, I return back to Obaseki again, sir. You should begin to create, like I said, an environment whereby everybody those who are less privileged, create an environment whereby they can be able to become something better in the future. And for the government of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, the Minister of Defense, I have something I need to tell you. You call our prisons now correctional center. But the prison I saw at Saple Road, the White House, that does not look like a correctional center. What is correction? Correction is trying to change somebody from the way he was to a better person after he had been arrested and detained in the correctional center. Here in Sweden, there are people they sent to prison. They were not educated. They might even be a dropout from another country. When they go into the prison, they'll be taught the Swedish language in prison. They will ask them, some of them, there was a guy who came out and became a medical doctor from the prison. Some will learn some vocations like electrician, carpentry, chef, whatever. So when they are leaving the prison, out of the prison, they've now become a brand new person, having a hope of having a living. But a situation whereby you lock children up in the kind of condition that I saw in the correctional center, there's no way you're going to correct them. Rather, you're going to bring them out more hardened criminal. Yeah, my brother, that's what we are saying now. If it's there, Yamo actually loves Edo State. And all those that went to court, let the voice of the people be heard. They should drop whatsoever. They should drop whatsoever they have. Engage the government and let's unite and build a better Edo, where everyone will be important. You need to come off your high horse, mate. Edoba, I'm not in a high horse. I'm in a normal horse. Everything I'm saying now is possible. You live in Europe, so if you think it's not possible, then I don't know what to tell you. If it is possible in the country where you live in, therefore it needs to be possible anywhere in the world. So these are the kind of people who, if you give them power to go to Nigeria and represent us, they're going to come out to tell us it's not possible. Because their mindset is, you can't do it. You can't do it. Listen, let me tell you something. Do you know what causes insecurity more? Do you know what causes insecurity more? Insecurity is being caused because you decide to separate yourself from the people. The moment you mingle with these people, they see you as not be proud. They see you as not be over pompous. They see you as people friendly. The community will protect you. The street where you live in, they'll be the one to guide you. But if you decide to feel as if, as a youth, you don't feel that you are better than the other guy because you have some little money that you came with from abroad, they will mess you up. So everything is about your thinking. There's no I us anywhere. We can be able to change the narrative. Ask the Germans, ask the Swedish, ask the Swiss, the French. How did they get to where they were now? No nation in the world that did not pass through what we are passing through now. It was the determination of the youth that changed the narrative in those countries. Until we understand and until we believe that we can, we'll perpetually remain where we are, believing it is not possible. There is nothing impossible in this world. Nothing impossible. Everything comes by determination. Many of you feel, no, it's not possible. We can't do it because things are not like that. Brothers, nothing is impossible. It's only for you to accept the fact that it is possible, and it will be. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. We need to deprogram our mind. We need to deprogram our mind. That's the truth of the matter. Deprogram your mind. Have a new mindset about things. See things from the perspective of where you are. Then things will start moving. Oyibo way they get 24-hour light. They have a bad weather. I can simply tell me it is impossible to get 24-hour light in Nigeria. How? How? They have a bad weather. They don't have wind. They don't have sun. Like in Sweden, where I live in the whole of Scandinavia. From this period now, the sea is already getting frozen. The sea is already getting frozen. In this period we are. The sea is already getting frozen. By January, it will be so frozen that people can even skate and walk on top of the sea. But yet, they never dim the light. No talk of taking it. How did they get there? It was determination. Few years back, India and China, Singapore, Philippines, they were coming to Nigeria. Either to buy palm oil from NIFO, or either to teach, to do one thing or the other. But today, those countries have become developing countries. Developed countries, I mean, who now produces things that they return back to us. You know the difference? Because the people think it is possible. The idea of not possible has made us to remain where we are today. That we cannot even produce a pencil as a nation. It is time we wake up. It is time we see the reality. It is time we say, no, this is the truth. We must all line up and make a change. The change starts with you and I. The change is for us to have a united front. A united front so that we can have the desired change that we needed. If you think it's not possible and you are in the group, you're going to be the Judas among the 12 who will discourage others from embarking on the very particular project because you think it's not possible. How do you think it's not possible? We can become one family again. Do you know? Let me shock you something. Do you know during the time of Longstanding, girlfriend was living in a house after my dad's house where we live. Do you know when the military came to my street and beat up everybody on that street because of that thing? Nobody ever agreed that they have seen Longstanding in their life. Nobody. Not the old, not the young. Not because of money. But one thing that Longstanding never did was he never robbed in that street. And no armed robbery ever happened in our street all the time that Longstanding was in power as a dreaded armed robber. Even a guy who was so much corrupt still understood the power of unity. He understood that he cannot destroy his home where he goes to after he has committed crime. He always makes sure that that area is protected. Nobody there comes in. So, my brothers and sisters, so you understand with me clearly that nothing is impossible if we unite, if we come together. That's the only way we can make changes. The only way. The only way. If you read the Bible, Genesis chapter 11, if you read from verse 6 down, the Bible said, and they decided to build a tower unto heaven. And God said, the Bible said that God looked down to man. Said, if I do not change their languages, they will not live. The only thing that made man to leave Babel was because God changed their language. That is a serious parable we need to think of. Because when you don't speak one language, it becomes disunited. When I don't speak the language that you need to understand, we are not disunited as a people. But the time they were speaking in one voice, in one language, they were doing exploit. God said, nothing will derail them. Nothing will derail them as far as they speak in one voice. Until the language is separated. This is what most of us does. When we're in a group, we come in and want to destroy the mind of the people, believing it is not possible. Brother, sister, it is possible. It is possible. The Bible said everything is possible to them that believes. It is possible. We can make a great state. We can make a great nation in our time. It is just only for us to come together in unity, understands what it takes to fight power from these people. One thing you need to understand is this. Wealth is one attribute to fight power from the wealthy. You need wealth to fight wealth. You don't use gun to fight wealth. That's where the youth can come together. Create an investment that will destroy the hold of the cabals on the nation. This is possible. Let's take self away. Let's take greed away. Let's take pride away. Let's take individualism away. That's what that kills us. Me alone. I want you to see me, not the other person. The moment that is your intention, it becomes really, really difficult for you to be able to make a great difference. It will be really, really difficult because when your individuality comes in, greed creeps into you. Self will not become the order of the day. But the moment you decide to say, okay, it is not about me, it's about us, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Nothing. I don't know how you guys are going to do it, but we are here to listen to you guys. I tell you about the the southern Nigeria. Somebody said it's not possible. I told some of my Igbo boys, brothers, back at the airport, I said, listen, guys, it is possible. We can come together. United we stand. Divided we fall. It is possible. Look at what happened in America. When one guy was kidnapped, they forgot about politics. They forgot about politics. They forgot about election. The entire America united together to rescue the guy back home. It is possible. Anytime there is a war between the Europe and outside Europe, you see all these people fighting themselves now who have a unity to fight against their common enemy or to exploit their common explorer. Unity is a key word. Unity is a key word. It's the only thing that can take us to where we are going to. I'm very frank to you guys right now. It is possible. Nothing is impossible when we decide to unite. You can't live here. Somebody built this country you are living in. Living in Europe, you are proud. I have European passport. Somebody made their passport to become important. I live in America. Oh, I have American passport. Somebody make American passport to become important. We as Nigerians, we can make the green passport to become enviable in our time. It is possible. It is possible. People that say that's not be possible, they don't actually have the thinking mechanism to go out of, their sphere of greediness and self-centeredness. So they think it's not possible. But if you see beyond the scope, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. It was proven in the state election. We all saw what happened there. We saw it is possible. We fought as one people. We defeated billionaires. We put down billionaires. Is a millionaire. Shomole is a billionaire. Captain is a billionaire. Tinubu is a billionaire. Other small millionaires all connived against the people. We won the fight because we were united. We defeated the enemy of the state because we have the same mindset in that period of time. It is possible. Don't listen to anyone that says it's not possible. Believe it is possible. The first is put down yourself. Let trust comes up. Don't listen to people who do not believe in themselves, because anyone that does not believe in himself does not trust you. If I'm honest in my heart, I need to trust you. That is the truth of the matter there. If I'm honest in my heart, I have this honesty in me, I will not see you as being a fraud. And anybody that sees fraud, every time they think of is fraud, if you ask them very well, they will tell you they've been in that business before now. Or they have actually dealt with people before. That's why when they see you coming in, all they see is you are coming to defraud them. But an honest man doesn't see everybody around him as being fraudulent. So it is possible. We can change the narratives. We can make a difference in our time. Don't believe in what people say. Believe in what you believe is possible. God bless you guys. It's unfortunate that the network did not allow us to actually interview Stanley. I will believe very soon about will answer me. I've already also sent him a friend request, to come to this interview any day. So tomorrow I'm going to have the Benin historian Zodua Amowi Emaswe. He's going to be on live show with us tomorrow. And he's going to tell us about the origin of the Benin. I want you to tell us from the beginning. So we're going to be having him, series of time where he's going to come up and give us, a vivid details of how the Benin Kingdom actually came into being. Okay, he's going to be doing us that. He's going to start up tomorrow with us. Please, 6 o'clock. Let us be here on time so we can actually give him time, listen to him, and allow him, take us through the entire process of the Benin Kingdom. Because I love to hear my story, the story of my birth, the story where I was born. So just stay put to your Facebook pages or your YouTube. Okay, and I want you guys to give a shout out to Naija Watch. He did very wonderfully well. Now I can stream live on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. That's the work of Naija Watch. Just give them a shout out. Tell Naija Watch a big thank you for giving us this platform. He's building on the platform every day for me. Now I can stream in 5 different social media space at the same time. I can even stream live now on my Instagram page if I want to at the same time. We must tell him a big thank you for that wonderful privilege and opportunity that he has given to us. So yeah, tomorrow we might not have to call it tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be the foundation, the genesis tomorrow. We're going to be having a lot of programs coming in. from tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of programs coming in, and from there, we're going to have a time to have interactive session. We're going to have interactive session where we're going to discuss the general issues. People can call in and give their opinions and all that and that. Then every week also, 6 p.m. European time, or both time, not now. Europe and Nigeria now use the same time, so it's going to be Europe and Nigeria time the same time, sir. Now, so that we then from there we're going to have interactive session. Then we're going to have interviews with people, and also on Friday 7 o'clock on Nigeria Watch, we're going to have Tell Your Story. Tell your story. If you have a story to tell, please contact Nigeria Watch and narrate your story to them. Either you call in or you can put it on an email and send to us. We're going to put it live without your name being mentioned, so that it can help others to also, try to learn either from your mistake or from your success. Okay, that's the idea for bringing up this idea of those of you in diaspora. Tell your story. Maybe you wanted to build a house, and at the end of the day, people, your family or your friends or your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, use the money recklessly, or they built it and actually did something wonderful for you. So you can also come up with some stories to help others. So you started business in Nigeria, the business didn't work well. Why? Or you started business and it's actually working marvelously well. Okay, these are things we want to put together so we can also help others, in life. That's why we want to have that very particular show, which we call Tell Your Story. Every Friday, 7 p.m. European time, every Friday, we're going to have Tell Your Story. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow, 6 o'clock, as we come in here to listen to our brother as he gives us a good narrative of the origin of the Igodo people, now called the Benin. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow, 6 o'clock. God bless you. Sign out.